I would like to introduce you to a tool that we have at the Pikes Peak Library District called Reference USA. To access this particular tool, it's a very good business-to-business type of a tool. So if you're at the Google line, you can type in pikespeaklibrarydistrict.org, ppld.org. It will bring you up to this particular page right here. If you click on the Research tab here on the top of the screen, you'll be presented with all the different research pages. We want to click on Business and Finance. This is where we're going to find Reference USA. And we're going to scroll down here until we find Reference USA. And there's Reference USA. We'll click on Reference USA. You will see that Reference USA is actually a series of different databases. We're going to be basically talking mostly today about the U.S. business database, but there's also a new database here for new businesses. There's also white pages if you're so inclined. And for another video, we'll talk a little bit about this consumer lifestyle database as well here. You're certainly free to check out any of these. But for right now, I'd like to talk to you a little bit about this business database. So let's click on that. This is the main screen where you would enter. This is your quick search. Typically, if you were going to be doing due diligence on a specific company, for example, you might enter the company's name right here and then hit the view results and kind of get there. But in this particular case, we're going to be doing some research in terms of trying to locate businesses that are in a particular area of our interest. So let's say we're assuming we're going to go find some wine stores because we're thinking about opening up a new wine store. So we click on Custom Search right here. And as you can see at this particular moment right now, we haven't restricted any of our search. And there's, at this point, 15 million records that are in the database for different types of companies. So what we want to do is we want to select the business type. So we want to kind of drill down toward our retail wine business. If you know the companies or with your targets SIC code or NAICS code, you can actually click on this particular tab and it'll open up a dialog box and you can enter in the NAICS code or SIC code and it'll go directly to that. But it's unlikely that most people are going to know that. So let's go ahead and just kind of use this tool here, this major industry group tool, which is sometimes a little bit easier to go ahead and use. You can see they have, agriculture and forestry and mining and construction and so on and so forth, but we're dealing with a wine store. That's what we're trying to do. We're trying to do due diligence on seeing what other wine stores are out there to see if we could, would make sense for us to open up a wine store. So that's going to be some retail trade. So we'll click on the plus box here, which will open up the dialog. You'll see down here we have building and materials and so on and so forth, food stores, and I don't see anything that really kind of gets toward retail wine. So there's a miscellaneous tab. We'll open up that. As we go down here, you'll see, drug stores, liquor stores. Well, I guess it would be considered a liquor store. So let's open up liquor, cocktail mixes. So, there we are, wine and retail. So if we click on that right now we have two buttons on the right-hand side here, update count or view results. I always tell people they probably want to hit the update count first, so that's what we'll do. If we update count right here, you'll see that there's over 12,000 records in there right now. That these are wine retail outlets throughout the entire United States. But since that's not going to help us too much, we would probably want to go ahead and search for geography, which is another good one. So here you can see we can do an actual map search or by state or something, but I think metro area usually works pretty good for the kinds of things that I want to do. By clicking this, it'll open up a dialog box down at the bottom here. You can see metro area. First, it asks me to select the state, which I'm going to do. I'll select Colorado since this demonstration is being done here in Colorado. And then here's the various cities that we have in Colorado's metro cities. And so here's Colorado Springs. We'll click on that. Now, if I update the count, you'll see that we have 17 retail establishments that specialize in wine. So this is probably a good enough number. We can go ahead and take a look at it. If not, we would continue to refine this by various methods right here. We could, another one, maybe business size, either number of employees or sales volume, that kind of stuff, or even some financial data. But I think right now 17 is a number that we can work with. So we'll hit the green button here, which is view results. And so here we have the 17 companies that match our search criteria. And as you can see, we'll drill down any one of these. Let's just pick this one right here, but I will tell you that you can select these and then you can actually print them out. You can download them. They will print them to an Excel spreadsheet file. Sorry for that. Print it to an Excel spreadsheet file, and you can go ahead and sort that or import that into your contact management software. But for right now, we're just going to drill down and see which one of these might be our particular competitors. So let's just pick this one right here, Drive-In Liquors right here. So we'll click on that. It's a live link. So here's the kind of basic information that you would see maybe in a telephone book. It has the name of the company, the address. It also has their telephone number, and if they had a website, it would be listed there as well. One of the other boxes here, you can see this is where they list the SIC codes and the NAICS codes. Here you can see they're in liquor retail, wine retail. They also apparently sell cigars and cigarettes and other tobacco products. Sometimes it's interesting to see what other kinds of businesses they're in. This one is one of my favorite ones right here, the business demographics. I think this is where you're going to get 99% of the value out of this particular business-to-business database. So if you look right here, you'll see from a location standpoint, there are 6 employees that are working at this particular location. They did just under $1.8 million worth of business last year. They've been in the database here for 32 years, so they're certainly not a fly-by-night company. You can see that this record was last updated on February of 2015. I'm actually running this in February of 2015, so it's pretty current right here. Another piece of valuable information is this Mike Morrissey. Mike Morrissey would be the owner or manager of this particular establishment. Also lets you know sometimes we have a name like Kim or something, and we don't know whether that's actually a first name or a last name, and so sometimes it's valuable to have the gender information there. You can see we have company news if we wanted to locate that, if it was a public company, a stock ticker symbol. But here's another good piece of information that is available on most companies. It talks about how much they spend on accounting, contract labor, legal, and so on and so forth. So you can see how much they actually outsource and where they find other information. You can see here there's some sales volume charts and some employee charts and that kind of stuff. You can see if they have any Ucc filings. So a Ucc filing would mean maybe they've got a loan and there's somebody is putting or they've pledged a particular asset and so on and so forth. This one shows that there are no Ucc filings. This has some nearby businesses. Will be just generic right to there. And this, for example, these are competitors. So if you went in through the first way and actually knew that you wanted to drive down to this particular company, there's another way to look at it. You'd say, listen, I really want to go to this Drive-In Liquor. You'd go to Drive-In Liquor. You'd look at them. Then you could sit down there and see who their competitors are, and here's all their competitor reports. Again, here you can download this, you can print it, you can do a variety of other kinds of things to go ahead and get it. This has been pretty much an overview of the business-to-business tool available through Reference USA at our Pikes Peak Library District.